Hi, everybody. I'm Ross Hill, Director of Intelligence for At-Risk's Global Risk Intelligence team, and welcome to this week's weekly Intelligence Insights. With me are analysts Roman Fisher and Cooper McGill. I'm going to take you through a few of the things we think are interesting or impactful for the week ahead. The first one, Russia and Ukraine agreed a deal to allow the export of grain from Ukraine, which is tentatively a good sign. But with that, actually, within hours of the deal being announced, Russia did carry out a missile strike against the port of Odessa, which is probably the key port in Ukraine. And so it's not clear if Russia will actually follow through with the deal. Russia is keen to be seen as not being responsible for the impact to global food supplies that the conflict in Ukraine is having. But it could just appear to kind of support the deal. And then if grain is not exported, try and blame those difficulties on Ukraine. But at the moment, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov is actually currently visiting Africa, trying to rally some support for Russia there. And Africa is one of the places where food supplies and prices are being impacted the most by the war in Ukraine. And so during his visit to Egypt, Lavrov actually said Russia would honour the agreement. It will be a good sign if those exports do restart. But Ukraine has already said that it's unlikely to be able to kind of export the amount of grain that it was able to in kind of a pre-war levels. But even so, if Ukraine can export a decent amount, it will help to ease food insecurity and maybe help with food prices and inflation a little bit. And if that occurs, then that's actually going to be a positive indicator in terms of risk of civil unrest. But that's kind of, at the moment, seems like a bit of a big if the exports actually happen or not. But overall, not really having too much impact on the actual conflict. War is actually entering its 6th month. And really, we're not seeing much more than a prolonged conflict outlook. And over to Roman Fisher.
Thanks, Ross. Last week was marked by severe weather and natural disasters. These and other similar events are likely to have impacts beyond just the environmental, health, and financial. Possible impacts include increased crime, protests, civil unrest, and even cyber attacks. Excessive heat warnings and advisories were issued for millions in the U.S., and forecasters have warned of dangerously hot conditions over the next 24 hours. The latest weather warning came after multiple heat emergencies were declared earlier last week. Major cities such as Philadelphia, Boston, and Washington, D.C. Have taken measures such as parking air-conditioned bus and keeping public buildings open for extended hours to offer relief. In California, a fast-moving brush fire near Yosemite National Park has exploded in size and is now one of the largest fires of the year. Thousands of people have been ordered to evacuate, and more than 2,000 homes and businesses have lost power. In Japan, a volcano in the western part of the nation erupted on Sunday evening. The volcano, called Sakurajimi, is located in the southwestern island of Kyushu, about 600 miles from Tokyo. There have been no immediate reports of damage or casualties. And the Sendai nuclear power plant, about 31 miles from the volcano, has reported no problems. Extreme weather and natural disasters pose critical security risks to the U.S., from destabilizing droughts in Africa to devastating hurricanes and flooding in the U.S. We're not only experiencing an increase in frequency and severity of events, but also the physical, social, and economic impacts that often follow. Extreme weather events such as coastal flooding, hurricanes, brush fires, heat waves, and drought are becoming more common and more impactful. According to the Wilson Center, these events can compound other complex threats, producing shocks, stresses, and black swan events. And now I'm going to hand it over to Cooper McGill.
Thank you, Roman. So the FBI has recently issued a warning on a new and ongoing cryptocurrency-related scam. In this case, cyber criminals have been contacting US-based investors, with fraudulent investment services offers that appear to be coming from legitimate financial institutions, specifically those in the crypto space. Eventually, these investors are led to download an application, a fraudulent application that then results in the theft of their cryptocurrency assets. So far, there has been about $42 million in losses estimated between October of 2021 and May of 2022. And this is through about 244 victims. So as far as cyber crimes go, it's a smaller victim pool, but still pretty sizable losses. Cryptocurrency scams, are continuing to rise in popularity, particularly as attention on cryptocurrencies continues to increase. It's likely that this trend will continue as well. So important for investors and just everyday users to be wary of applications that they are downloading on their phone. Additionally, financial institutions are likely going to want to issue increased warnings to their customers regarding these types of scams, as scams that utilize their company's likeness in execution have the opportunity to negatively impact customer trust and loyalty. So customers, will be increasingly expecting these institutions to issue warnings ahead of time. And that is all I have. I will pass it over to Ross Hill.
Thanks, Cooper. So we've been tracking monkeypox kind of since the outbreak began, and the World Health Organization has now declared it a global health emergency. It's really only taken a few weeks to spread to more than 75 countries, and now there's more than 16,000 cases worldwide. The declaration means that there'll be an increased coordinated international response. So we'll have member countries investing more in their response. So we'll probably see cases increase as tracking of the disease improves. Some modelling saying that it's going to take a year or more to control the outbreak, likely to be hundreds of thousands of cases. The potential for it to actually become endemic in some countries outside of those where it's already endemic. And many of the infected people have actually reported no known source of infection, so indicating that there is some undetected community spread, which is slightly concerning. But that's all we have for you this week. We hope you enjoy the content, and we hope to see you soon. Thanks. Bye.